This vine is Clematis Armandii, and in the spring when it blooms, it just blooms once a year, and I wish you could smell this. It's time to come in, and you want the flowers to show, right? So if you get any of this new growth happening at the same time, I'm going to show you how to prune out this new growth that we don't really need. It's distracting from how pretty this could be. And then we'll also talk about a couple of features of this vine. I'm going to show you two different cuts, one that we're not trying to make, a heading cut, and one that we are trying to make to groom this vine. A heading cut would mean here is the leader, and it's a couple of feet out here. A heading cut would mean I came in here and I just cut it anywhere along the stem. Now you can do that, but this vine is so old and there's so much growth, I don't need to leave this anyway. What I want to do is I'll sacrifice a few flowers, but I'm going to show you with the flashlight, if you can see down in here. See how this stem is growing off of this main stem here. And I just want to come in and do a thinning cut. That means removing the stem from its origin. And then I've cleaned that up. All we're trying to do at this time of year when it's blooming is to put all the attention onto the flowers and not onto all the new growth that wants to push. This is going to push a ton of new growth after the flowers fade, and it needs to be cleaned up, and that's a different video. But today we're going to talk about grooming this, and then also we're going to get up underneath this vine and show you what's going on under there. So here's another one that I'm going to do a thinning cut on. Remember, a heading cut would mean I cut it anywhere in the middle, and I don't want to do that. I want to remove this stem completely. I don't need it. I want the flowers to show. So you can't really see it, but I'm following this all the way down to its origin, doing a thinning cut. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Now if you can't really see, just feel with your pruners. You can slide pruners along like this without harming the stem, and then you can feel where that ends, and you can prune it out. Look, it looks better already. Yay! Here's another one. So I'm gonna follow this down and prune it right out. And technically even this one could come out, but right now I'm not really worried about that. I'm just doing a quick early spring pruning. Let's move up to over here. This one right here. Same thing. And now with this one, I can, see that? I can lift it up and just go inside there and prune that right out. Same thing with this one. Look how much better that looks without all of those new stems getting in the way. Now this is, Clematis Armandii is an evergreen. Here in Zone 9, it's evergreen, and it's very, very heavy. So now let's go underneath this vine. I'm going to show you what's going on underneath this vine and talk about what I'm going to do after this flowering fades. Okay, I want to show you what's going on underneath this vine. Now, when you first plant Clematis Armandii, it's just going to sit there for a year, and you're going to think it's never going to grow. And in its second year, it puts on 15 to 20 feet of growth from many leaders. So over time, I'll show you what happens underneath. Can you see, hang on, let me move this a little bit more. Can you see underneath all the dead leaves and everything? Those need to be cleaned out periodically, ideally once a year, to help with disease resistance. You know, bugs love that dead stuff. After this finishes flowering, I'm actually going to go in here. I'm going to remove all of these flowers. After it's done, are going to be brown and dead, and if I leave them there, they're not going to go anywhere. It's just going to be brown and dead with new green growth and new leaders starting again. So it's quite a chore, but I come in and I cut off, I groom out all of these spent flowers, and also I try to take out as much weight as I can. I take out some of the bigger chunks. This Clematis Armandii doesn't really appreciate being whacked down to nothing though, so you have to be careful of that. Let me show you a quick way to at least get some of the dead out. So I've lifted up the entire vine, and now I'm just gonna pull this down, and I have a tarp underneath here that's catching all of this. And it'd be good for you to wear a mask so that you don't get dust up your nose. It's not good for your lungs. So, and basically that's the first part of cleaning this up. Then you can go in with clippers too and take out some dead. This isn't something that you need to necessarily do every year, but at some point you're gonna, with proper pruning now and then, you can keep this vine a little bit smaller. But just remember, whatever you allow this vine to climb on, make sure it's super sturdy and keep ahead of the grooming so that one day you don't come out and the whole vine or the fence is on the ground. This is Clematis Armandii is a beautiful evergreen vine, and I hope I haven't discouraged you from planting that. That was not my intention. It's just my intention is to be mindful of a vine. Don't allow it to just grow for 10 years and then realize, oh my gosh, half of it's dead underneath and it's really heavy and my fence is suffering. Go ahead and plant it and enjoy this vine and just groom it as it goes along, and you're gonna love it. I wish we had smell-o-vision because it smells so good. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you liked our video today, and tell your friends.